Wow, what a game at St James's Park. 3-3 it finished between Newcastle and Man City. It's actually hard to even know where to start. But what I'm going to do is quickly mention that City go ahead early through Ilkay Gundogan. And then it was coming, the equaliser for Newcastle. That came through Miguel Almiron. So that happened. But then came the turnaround, basically. Callum Wilson gets the go-ahead goal for Newcastle at this point. And that came just before the first half ended, Janusz. Wonderful first touch to set him up. Brilliant finish to what was a sweeping attack as well.
Yeah, I mean, really, where do you start? Seesaw of emotions, I suppose, on both sides, right? But, you have to take a gamble and play to have a chance against Manchester City. We've seen that, right? We've seen that from Liverpool in the past, even in the Community Shield. We've seen that Manchester City struggle at times in Europe when they're attacked, right? They're not comfortable with that because they're so good and they're so used to dominating the proceedings that when you do that to them in an open game, that's where the gamble is. Many have tried and they haven't succeeded, and it almost happened to Newcastle in a way. To the degree it did happen, because at one point it looked like, three points where they really dominated for long periods of time, this Manchester City team. Just ask Kyle Walker how he felt about Saint-Maximin today, and you can go on and on and on and on. But in the end, look, that's how quickly champions can spoil the party, Kay.
So let me talk about a player that you just mentioned, Allan Saint-Maximin, and also Kevin De Bruyne, because they're two men today who were so pivotal for their sides.
Well, yeah, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne, we know all about it. And I was just waiting there because he had a very, very quiet game for a long period of time. But that quality just comes in. I mean, it's unbelievable he can do what he sees. We know it. And we shouldn't be afraid to harp on it continuously because we're seeing a genius of a player that, because of the position that he plays in, he will get some accolades, but not the sorts that Leo Messi and Ronaldo and some of the greats in the past. But what he does is incredible. I mean, that pass, obviously two players on the same page. It's almost as if Bernardo Silva knows that he can pull that off. I think that was through Joe Willock's legs, by the way, but he didn't care because, a lot of people, when you see that traffic, and you say to yourself, well, how am I going to squeeze that in? And they don't make that pass. Well, he doesn't care, right? Because he knows he can. So it's beautiful. Saint-Maximin, I mean, half the time he doesn't know what he's doing. I don't think I know what he's doing, but I'll pay money to watch him. I mean, it's incredible. We've seen that already. And this is a different Newcastle. This is a Newcastle team. I mean, this is no Steve Bruce Newcastle, that is for sure. And this is something that these fans have waited for such a long time, and they absolutely deserve. It was breathtaking to watch this game.
Yeah, they're incredible fans at St James's Park. Eddie Howe did say Newcastle were going to go for it today, and go for it they did. They were brave, they were bold, they were ahead at half-time. Then they went ahead again in the 54th minute through that Kieran Trippier free kick. And what a free kick it was, Janusz.
Yeah, we've seen that happen. Remember, when did they get him? In January last season, he scored 2 from a free kick and then got injured for the rest of the season, right?
Yeah, since the start of last season, I think he's taken 4 and scored 3 of them.
Yeah, and I remember, I mean, because, obviously January was an important match. I mean, important time because Newcastle weren't all that great as we know it. And, and he comes, scores 2 goals, gets injured, but that was enough really to get the momentum. So, yeah, I mean, the way he took it as well. I mean, what a beautiful strike. It's something that, well, yeah, as you said, 3 goals, I think 3 out of 4 goals from free kick. So, I mean, look, at that stage, I really quietly thought that was going to be enough.
Really, you did at that point. Why? Because what made you think that though? What gave you that impression that City wouldn't come back from that?
Because I promise you, when you have, De Bruyne, when you have Haaland, right? I mean, you look at him again, maybe a quiet game, finds a way, could have scored 2 more goals. Phil Foden could have played him early in the first half. As dominating as Newcastle were in the first half, City had their chances, right? And you saw Pep Guardiola's reaction when a couple of times Gundogan and Phil Foden didn't see a wide open Haaland. So here's Haaland. And I promise you, some will be saying, well, quiet game. Yes, he scores. It's a sitter. It's from 3 yards out. Well, perhaps. I mean, he's got 3 goals without really being loud for Manchester City. Imagine if he gets going, right? So part of me thought De Bruyne and Haaland and Bernardo Silva and Gundogan, should I go on? I mean, they have these players that can turn the game, and that they did.
So you mentioned Haaland scored. That made it 3-2. And then came the 3-3, but it was really all about the assist, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it already. I mean, it's brilliant. What can you say? We've seen it before. We're going to see it on numerous occasions because it's a player that's just so gifted, and he can execute that time and time again.
Yeah, so that was Bernardo Silva with that one. That made it 3-3. Anyway, then came some more drama. I was just going to say some drama, but there was drama all the way from the beginning of this game. A straight red for Kieran Trippier for a tackle, which was seen as high and dangerous by the referee. The VAR asked him to take another look at it. He does that, and he downgrades the red to a yellow. What did you make of this moment?
I think he should have stayed red. I mean, look, the laws of the game, will tell you that it wasn't excessive enough, right? Because the contact was made with the side of his foot. And, so I thought at first, and okay, it kind of made sense to me a little bit because you see it in action. You see maybe the first replay and you say to yourself, yeah, the studs were not at his foot. But look, I mean, cynical, you don't get a red card for that, I suppose. But if you look at that play, at the pace that Kevin De Bruyne was going, Kieran Trippier lounges himself in the air to make that tackle. How is that not a red card? If it isn't, it ought to be. It has to be, because that's what happens. You don't just go for the play. That's exactly what he did. He did not go for the ball, and he lounges himself, both feet in the air, to foul a player at full speed. Nothing happened, but it could have happened. Many things can happen where, when you see a situation like this. So I just don't think that yellow card should be enough for that sort of a play where you have nothing in mind, but by stopping the player in that fashion, where you lounge yourself from behind. You can say side, but it really is from behind. I mean, it was see you later. I mean, open space there. Yeah, not a sure goal scoring opportunity, but it's not about that. It's just that, you can't do that. You can't defend by just, randomly lounging yourself with both feet at a player and think that's okay in the game. For my money, it shouldn't be.
Well, that's your opinion, obviously, because that really has divided opinion, that one. But what will not divide opinion is how great a game this was to watch. 3-3, it finished. It's probably going to be one of those games that we'll remember all season. It'll be one of the standout matches of the season. You did touch on this, but just to end, what have Newcastle United today showed other teams if they are hoping to take at least a point away from this Manchester City side?
That they are building this team in a sensible fashion, right? Not spending crazily because, they have the money, but obviously, financial fair play still exists. They're getting the right pieces and adding the right pieces, to this team. Today I was laughing a little bit because Dan Burn, I was worried about Dan Burn at left back against Bernardo Silva. And, I didn't think I was going to have to worry about, Kyle Walker, but look at Nick Pope. I mean, you got, that save on Erling Haaland, unbelievable. The touch that goes under the post. I hope you think that Nick Pope should be your number one goalkeeper for England in the World Cup, not Pickford, right? So just if you look at the rebirth of a lot of the players, right, and you have to give credit to Eddie Howe in an incredible way because he's having a go. We all know that he likes to play. We've seen that with the Cherries when he was in the Premier League, when he was their manager. Obviously has better players right now. I tell you, it looks good. Joelinton in that midfield, Saint-Maximin combining with him as well. Callum Wilson, look at him. If he stays healthy, maybe they don't need another striker, right? Who knows? So there are a lot of pieces that falling into place longer term. In the meantime, I think they've announced themselves saying, you know what? I don't know if we're ready for top four just yet, but we're sure ready for Europe. This is a team on the up, and it doesn't take me to tell anybody that. You can clearly see that in the first three matches of the season.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning Nick Pope. I did have him on my list of things to talk about, but there were so many I almost forgot. I'm glad we did mention it. And if I can, I'll give Gareth Southgate a call. Don't worry.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.